Hello and welcome to This Week at the Movies. I am Matt, and it is a jam-packed week on the show. A couple of options to go through: a big wide release, something a little bit lighter, finally at theaters. Have a couple of limited releases, and then a couple of streaming options. So let's dive in. The big, probably new release this week is You, Me, and Tuscany. This one, a romantic comedy. It comes from director Kat Corio, written by Ryan Engel and Kristen Engel. Features Regé Jean Page and Halle Bailey. This one, pretty simple setup. Anna is a woman who suffered a little bit of a tragedy that knocked her off course. She ends up kind of falling into this professional house sitting job. I didn't even know there was such a thing. But when some of her clients fall through, she happens upon Matteo, played by Lorenzo D'Amore. He's a man who is from Tuscany, but he is now working in America. He has a beautiful villa in his hometown near Tuscany, in Tuscany, but he's never there. She's looking for her next thing. She has this plane ticket her mother had bought her for Italy. Decides to YOLO and go visit Tuscany on a whim after they had met up and connected and spent a night sharing their stories together. Turns out it's the middle of a festival, no place to stay, so she decides to go and get into Mateo's house, which she knows is empty. And the next day, his family arrives. She had been rummaging in a drawer, found an old engagement ring, like you do, and slipped it on. And so, bada bing, they assume that she is Mateo's fiance. Finds a family she never expected to find, and she also finds a spark of romance with his brother Michael, played by Regé Jean Page. So soon Mateo pops back up. Things get even more wild and complicated. Look, you could call this While We Were in Tuscany, Tuscany While You Were Sleeping. If you're getting those while you were sleeping vibes, that is a fair assessment. This is a little bit of an update of that. It just has some fun, charismatic qualities to it. These kind of films really aren't about the plot because you kind of know where it's going and where it's going to end up, and each of the individual beats aren't entirely critical. It's about the charisma between the leads and the story, and I thought Halle Bailey is very good as Anna. I enjoyed Regé Jean Page as Michael. I give this one a mild thumbs up. I think it is a perfect kind of date movie. And we have had a lot of somber and serious things, a lot of horror movies. Obviously Project Hail Mary, very inspirational, some comedy, but a lot of the things we've had in January, February, and March have been a little heavy, violent, a little dour. This is something different that's not for kids, but is a perfect kind of date night. Take your significant other out and just have a good time at the movies. That's what it is. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It has some very fun vistas. It has some very fun moments. It has a gag reel over the closing credits. Those are the kinds of things you're probably looking for on a date night movie. So I had a good time with You, Me, and Tuscany, as did my wife. I think you will as well. A couple of other smaller releases. I got a chance this week to see a film that debuted at the Boulder Film Festival near where I live in Colorado Springs on Friday night. It will actually go nationwide at the end of May, and that is the movie Tuner. I thought I'd give it a shout out. I really enjoyed this movie that comes from director Daniel Rohr, who co-wrote the screenplay with Robert Williams. Rohr actually better known for documentaries, did the documentary Navalny, actually did the AI doc, which is currently in theaters that opened at the end of March. But this one, a scripted film, a fictional film, follows a young man, Nicky, played by Leo Woodall, who was something of a piano prodigy, but a condition that caused him to be very sensitive to noise kind of derailed his music career. But he is scraping by, making a living as a piano tuner with his mentor, Harry, played by Dustin Hoffman. connects with a young music student, Ruthie, played by Havana Rose Liu, starts a romance. But while he's out on a job late one night, he runs across a group of guys who are trying to get into a safe. They said they're doing it for a security check. I think we can all guess that isn't the case. Probably even Nikki could guess that wasn't the case as well. But he uses his super hearing to help crack in and finds a potential new source of income from working with Yuri, played by Leo Raz. Gets him into a whole nother world when Harry falls ill and gets behind on medical bills and needs money. Nikki feels even more compelled to dive in. This one moves at a good pace. Some very strong performance. I enjoyed Woodall in the lead role. Dustin Hoffman kills it in a few of the scenes that he's in as a supporting part. I thought Havana Rose Liu was very good as Ruthie. It's an interesting story. It's very interestingly shot. It moves at a good pace. And I thought it had something of a very engaging climactic sequence too. So giving this one a strong thumbs up. This is one of the better movies I've seen so far this year of new releases. Again, goes wide on May 29th, so a lot of people will have a chance to see it then. I got to check it out because of the film festival here, but excited for other people to be able to check that one out. So be looking for Tuner. Another movie that opened in limited release in theaters this week is Hamlet, and this is a new version of Hamlet. Maybe not exactly what you're expecting. This one features Riz Ahmed in the lead role as Hamlet. This one is set in contemporary London, but it retains the entire story and the dialogue from Shakespeare's classic play Hamlet, so that gives it a little bit of a new twist. There are some new ways that some of these classic speeches come out, some of the sequences, like when Hamlet is giving his famous to be or not to be speech, it's actually while he is driving in his car, kind of playing chicken with oncoming traffic. It was a very interesting visual. There is an interesting visual style. Riz Ahmed gives a very good performance here. Giving this one a mild thumbs up. Look, most people are familiar with Hamlet by now. You usually have to engage with it when you're in school, reading the play or going over the play. Most of us are very familiar with the play. I liked the modern update in terms of the setting and the look of the characters and the places where it was all taking place while holding to the classic dialogue. It gave it kind of a fun new twist. There were some new wrinkles. It's ultimately not the happiest of stories, so I would understand if it doesn't hit for you in that way. But there is a good supporting cast, includes Timothy Spall, Joe Alwyn, Morford Clark plays Ophelia. So an interesting take on the play and an interesting update, an interesting approach to the material. I thought it was something different. It is worth checking out, especially if you are a Shakespeare fan. But what if you don't want to have to leave the house? Well, there are some streaming options this week. The first of which is Outcome, which is the new film from Jonah Hill that is streaming on Apple TV. This one was co-written and directed by Hill. He also co-stars alongside Keanu Reeves. Reeves plays a veteran actor named Reef Hawk, who has been in the limelight since he was a young child and burst onto the scene performing a musical number on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. We see clips of that, but he went through drug and alcohol addiction, fell on some hard times, and ended up stepping away. And now he is coming off of a 5-year break where he got clean and sober, got centered, really just had his two best friends that he's had for decades, Kyle, played by Cameron Diaz, and Xander, played by Matt Bomer. Those are the people that he's had to lean on, but now he's ready for a big comeback. He has some big projects in the pipeline, and his lawyer, Ira, played by Jonah Hill, gives him a call and lets him know there is some kind of tape out there that is being shopped on the black market. They don't know what is in the tape. They don't know what happens in the tape. They don't know who has the tape, but they know it could be potentially bad. So this threatens to derail Reef and his comeback tour. So Ira, while he's assembling a great crisis team, suggests that maybe Reef Hawk should try to make amends with anyone he's wronged in his life. Well, that kicks off a whole journey of introspection and something of an apology tour that gives us some incredible cameos. Uh, First manager that Reeve had is played by Martin Scorsese, a really fun back and forth between Keanu Reeves and Scorsese. He has to make up with his estranged mother, played by Susan Lucci, who's now a reality star. It starts out comedic. There are some funny moments, there are some fun dialogue, there are some funny sequences, but as you go through it, it takes a little bit of a journey shift and becomes more introspective, more dramatic, and a little bit more serious, both for Reef and for the audience. And you know what? I enjoyed the journey. I enjoyed both halves of the journey. I enjoyed this movie. It's only about 80 minutes, so it is a real short commitment. Hill kills it in the couple scenes that he's in. But there are a lot of great performances, a lot of great cast, a lot of people that just pop up and make cameos. David Spade appears here. Kaya Gerber appears here. Uh, just a huge kind of sprawling cast. Roy Wood Jr. Makes a cameo appearance. So Drew Barrymore. There are some funny just some funny sequences, but I was kind of moved by the end. I'm giving this one a mild thumbs up as well. I had a good time with it. Not what I was expecting exactly, but it definitely works and holds your attention. And like I said, only 80 minutes. Nice to have some of these movies that are quick hitters too. That is not the only streaming option this week, though. The Netflix also on Friday launched the movie Thrash. And let me just say, on paper, this feels like a movie that was made for me. I love a good disaster movie. I love a good shark movie. And this is essentially about a small coastal town that, after enduring the storm surge caused by a Category 5 hurricane, is infested with a group of violent and angry and hungry sharks. You have a disaster movie, you have a shark movie, you have a pretty upscale cast that includes Phoebe Dynevor, Jaimin Hansu. This seems like it should be a home run. It had a pretty fun trailer. This one, a serious thumbs down for me. I'm half tempted to give it a two-barrel thumb down. It is a mess. It's only about 85 minutes. That's good. It's another short commitment. But it's not good as a disaster movie. It was not good as a shark movie. It was not good as a piece of dramatic fiction. It was weird. Even though you have some pretty good actors, there just is no character development. I was just disappointed. This was a complete miss for me and a complete misfire. I'm not exactly sure what they were going for. I was kind of excited and hyped for this, and Netflix has done a really good job in recent years of providing entertainment. Even at the start of this year, some really stable and fun options. I really like The People You Meet on Vacation. I love The Rip. There have been quite a few fun Netflix ones to pop up. Everyone deserved better. The audience deserved better. The actors deserved better. The story deserved better. Just a complete creative misfire for me. So even if you are a fan of disaster movies and shark movies, I know those are big genres for me. I love to kick back with those. This just doesn't work. It is just a complete miss. So happens from time to time. There were plenty of great options this weekend. You want a date movie in theaters, you can head out and see You, Me, and Tuscany. You want to check out some cool limited release Hamlet's out there. I had fun with Outcome on streaming. Thrash, just a misfire for me. Well, that'll do it for this week. We have still a lot of stuff coming as we make it through April. Next week, should be talking about Normal, the latest from Bob Odenkirk, and a new take on The Mummy. I don't know whether to be optimistic or nervous. I guess I'm nervously optimistic, but we will see how that goes. Until next week, I will see you at the movies.